Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel and thank you for clicking on the video. Today we're going to be going over Kullervo and his newest augment, Volatile Recompense. This is for his second skill. So when your daggers whirl around in a ring for Kullervo, they'll do it for 25 seconds, hitting enemies and applying blast. Now the status effect isn't clearly stated here, but typically it normally means that it's a force proc, or 100% in this case. So you'll see here that when you use this, it is now duration based. So you don't have to recast this thing anymore. It just clearly rotates around you constantly. And one of the things that Kullervo had the biggest problem with was survivability, or at least spamming his 2 to constantly keep his overguard up because he had no shields or anything like that. But I can say with confidence that this is not only a quality of life augment, but an absolute must-use for anybody who wants to play Kullervo, likes playing him, or thought he was bad and needed something like this. It is absolutely incredible that I can just stand here with no companion, no help, doing absolutely nothing, and these enemies cannot touch me because they are constantly getting procced with blast, and then we'll show later in the build an arcane that gives me viral whenever I get a ton of overguard. And you'll also notice that with me standing here doing nothing, any melee incarnate can now activate itself without touching any enemies. Now this is a new one. It's not working currently, so we're not going to be talking about this incarnate because the fifth evolution is not working. We'll make a video on it later. But like you can see, I was able to activate it. I'm at 8 times combo multiplier. It's just really, really nice. You can just literally stand here and all your worries about Kullervo having issues with survivability pretty much out of the window, especially if you actually start performing tasks and hitting these enemies, then they're really going to struggle dealing damage to you. And I don't even have a companion, nothing. So let's go into the build and show why you must use this augment if you plan on playing Kullervo. So let's quickly talk about the Archon shards here. I am just using a bunch of power strength shards and then 1 parkour velocity because I always like my frames to be snappy, move quickly. I don't like to just stay in one spot. And you'll also notice that I did subsume Roar over his 4. So we're not going to be using his 4 here. If we go into the build, we're using Steel Charge because he's a melee frame. And as I had mentioned, the special arcane is Truculence. When you gain 3000 overguard or more, you release a 30-meter radial attack that applies viral. Now, this is an additional stagger effect that is being procced constantly when using this augment and having these daggers rotate around you. Now, again, the base duration is 25. I have a negative duration build here, only 5% less. So your duration is about almost 24 seconds, not really a big deal. But this is the main build that I'm using. And of course, Precision Intensify gives me a stronger roar. If you haven't seen this mod before, I believe it drops in the Deimos area where you actually get all these Archon shards. And then of course you have Multi-Augmented, which is a standard with most power strength builds. Tons of extra strength here in the mod selection as well. But this is a build that I've been using for a long time. Before, I was actually using Piercing Roar as just a way to help, again, with Kullervo's survivability being so weak, having that knockdown effect or CC effect helped Kullervo a little bit, especially when you're busy recasting your 2 all the time, which is pretty frustrating. But now, with this augment, you're applying status, you're staggering them constantly, it's a rotating ring, it's based off duration. It's really, really, really good. It might actually be possibly the best augment with this release, although that is, to be seen. I haven't tested the other ones yet. I plan on making videos on them, but if you have ever thought about playing Kullervo, try this build. If you don't have Archon Stretch, just, replace it with normal Stretch. Obviously, Kullervo doesn't have any sort of electric ability, so how am I proccing this? Well, I use the Diarga on almost all my frames because Diarga is just base electric, also really, really good CC. So if I actually go ahead and put in Diarga here, and anyone wondering, I'm using Prime Laser, and if I actually go back out there, the CC effect, of course, is going to be even better because, of course, the Diarga stuns like crazy. it's even better. See the electric lines going across and targeting these guys constantly? Insane. So yeah, that's the Augment. Not a whole lot to write home about. I'll put some gameplay here at the end, but go out, buy this Augment from, you know, the related syndicate or whatever, and go play Kullervo again, because he's really good and always been fun. So thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.